Before I get started, I got books over here, $10 per book.
Only $10.
Only $10. I got 19 copies, so if you like what I got, check out the book. Some wisdom. Outside my house there was a large oak tree. There was a tree house built, rotten and rickety from the rain, positioned perfectly between two large branches. One runs along the back as a brace. The other is the foundation that stretches across the floorboards. Someone's dad put it there long ago. Not mine. We never had secrets meant for tree houses. The first summer I rode my bike without training wheels. I fell 4 times in the first 10 minutes. My knees looked like battlegrounds. There were tiny pebbles in the pavement. I had a topographic map in my skin. It resembled volcanoes and great depressions. My dad said he had one of those a long time ago before he was ever born. I asked him what it was like. He said, people struggled a lot. And then I asked him if that's what this was. He said, what? I said, this. My soul is a cardboard box during a rainstorm. I break apart and wither with every gust of wind bringing down the heavens. I used to be used for keeping things safe, transporting special goods to warehouses and people's houses, and Christmas presents too big and awkwardly shaped for wrapping paper, but the parents wanted to keep it a secret. My family had too many secrets. I didn't learn most of them until I was 13, when I finally spoke to my father again, and he told me about all the infidelity. Sometimes I questioned who I could trust more. In the end, it was clear it was no one. That summer, we fished silently at all the local ponds. Never have I said so much without ever opening my mouth. Tree houses aren't meant for keeping secrets in. Neither is the mouth of a babe. My parents did not warn me of their divorce. Instead, they let it slap me in the face at the age of 9. After they killed my dog, they told me he was just sleeping, but I know he never slept without breathing. He always breathed against my back. There was a topographic map in his skin, too. It was covered in Himalayas. Our house was cold enough for snow after the truth came out. The icy distance between the couch and my parents' bed was shown plain as day in my father's stubble. He looked like a rag doll with all the stitching and dust gathering in places where there should have been love. On weekends, I don't shave so I can feel that broken, so I can look that rotted and rickety like my treehouse, the one meant for keeping secrets, the one we never built because my family did not have secrets. We had reasons for keeping one another happy. Covert cover-ups for after-school activities and late-night second jobs, and we made sacrifices, took all the bad, crammed it hard down into our cardboard box souls, and stacked everything else on top of it to try and hide the fact that we were just like everyone else, that my parents were just like the Henrys, and that their hearts were not big enough for 3 people, and that my sister was just like her artwork, abstract and aching to be noticed, and that I was just like my nightmares, unclear and threatening. The end may come someday soon, after the weight I stacked on top of my cardboard box soul caused it to balloon and burst, and I got locked away. That stereotypical padded room came with a roommate who did too many drugs and choked on a plum so long he cut off the oxygen flow to his brain and lost mobility in his legs. In the mornings before breakfast, in the hallways of the hospital, I talked to girls who carved more than lines into their skin, more than stories into their exoskeleton, more than the contents of their cardboard box souls in razor blade thin lines, looking like cries for help. One of them had me convinced she was not from this world, and that her time spent here was limited by choice. She lived inside those walls, turned the craft room into an escape, but the way her soul was never contained. We all had reasons for wanting to leave this world too soon. We all had secrets for wanting to stay. My secrets filled shoe boxes with loose-leaf paper, homework assignments stamped with confidence-shattering etch, because instead of studying, I was writing poetry in the empty space on the back. There are old pictures of me and all the friends I thought I had back then, circling bonfires with guitars placed in every corner and a couple making out in a blur. My parents were not supposed to know any of this. They still only know so much. They don't know about the birthday wishes I made through candles in the hopes of keeping them together, or that the reason I tucked myself in so tight at night was not to keep the bad out, but in the hopes of keeping the good in. That I slept through my entire junior year German class and made out with random girls in hallways, that he was the reason I hated myself, that he raped my innocence, that I never slept without one eye open when I had to share a bed with him for fear of being destroyed, that I blamed myself for their divorce, so that I threatened suicide as a last resort in the hope hopes of bringing them back together so I could fix what I had become when I never thought I was good enough to be their son. Someday, my secrets will eat me alive, swallow me whole in one swift gulp, and I will take them with me. Until then, I will plant trees in all of my backyards, waiting patiently for the 2 large branches, the perfect place to put a tree house, one built for keeping secrets.